The final day in Mexico arrived more quickly than anyone in BTS had expected. What had begun as a whirlwind of rehearsals, performances, interviews, and unforgettable moments with thousands of cheering fans had somehow reached its closing chapter. The atmosphere backstage carried a different energy from the excitement that had filled the stadium during the previous nights. There was laughter. Of course, because BTS had always found reasons to laugh even in the most exhausting circumstances, but beneath the smiles lingered a quiet sadness. Goodbyes had never been easy for them. Outside the venue, ARMY had gathered hours before the scheduled appearance. Fans held banners written in Korean, Spanish, English, and countless other languages. Purple lights shimmered across the crowd like stars scattered across the earth. Mexico had welcomed BTS with overwhelming warmth, and the members had repeatedly expressed their gratitude throughout their stay. Inside the dressing room, Jungkook noticed Taehyung unusually quiet. Normally, Taehyung drifted through the room with playful comments, spontaneous jokes, or random observations that somehow made everyone laugh. He teased the members, hummed songs under his breath, and entertained the staff with unexpected impressions. But today, he sat near the mirror with his hands folded loosely together, staring at the floor. Jungkook approached him slowly. "You okay?" he asked softly. Taehyung looked up, forcing a smile. "Of course," he replied. Jungkook knew him too well to believe that answer immediately. "You don't have to pretend with me." Taehyung let out a small sigh. "It's just." He paused, searching for the right words. "I don't know why, but today feels emotional." Jungkook sat beside him. "Because it's the last day." Taehyung nodded. "The fans here gave us so much love. Every night, every moment. I don't want to leave yet." For a few seconds, neither of them spoke. Then Jungkook smiled gently. "We'll come back." Taehyung glanced at him. "You think so?" "I know so." That simple response carried a sincerity that eased some of the heaviness in Taehyung's heart. As the members prepared for soundcheck, gathered everyone together. "You've all worked hard," he said. "Let's enjoy every second of today." Jimin nodded enthusiastically. "Let's make memories." J-Hope grinned. "And give Mexico a performance they'll never forget." Even Suga, leaning casually nearby, added quietly, "No regrets." Jin clapped his hands. "And no crying before makeup touch-ups." Everyone laughed. Everyone except Taehyung, whose smile faltered as emotion tightened unexpectedly in his chest. The soundcheck itself became unforgettable. The moment BTS stepped onto the stage, the stadium erupted. The deafening cheers rolled through the venue like waves crashing against the shore. ARMY screamed their names. Purple banners lifted higher. Some fans cried simply from seeing them appear. Taehyung looked around slowly. He took in the signs. The lights. The faces. The overwhelming affection stretching farther than he could see. For years, BTS had crossed borders and languages through music. Yet moments like this still amazed him. He raised his microphone. "Mexico!" he shouted. The response nearly shook the stadium. "I love you." Thousands of voices answered instantly. "We love you too." Taehyung laughed through sudden tears threatening to appear. Jungkook noticed immediately. He stepped closer. "You really are emotional today." Taehyung looked embarrassed. "I'm trying not to cry." Jungkook nudged his shoulder. "Then don't look at the fans." Taehyung glanced toward the audience again. A young fan held a handmade sign. "Thank you for staying with us." Another read. "You saved my life." Another. "Mexico will always wait for BTS." His vision blurred. Too late. His eyes filled. "Oh no," Jimin whispered. "He's gone," Jin announced dramatically. Taehyung covered his face. "I don't know what's wrong with me." "Nothing's wrong," said quietly. "You just care." The atmosphere softened. Even ARMY noticed. The crowd began chanting, "Kim Taehyung, Kim Taehyung, Kim Taehyung." The love pouring toward him felt almost impossible to absorb. Taehyung lowered his hands. Tears rolled down his cheeks. Instead of embarrassment, he found comfort. Because the members stood beside him. Because the fans never looked away. Jungkook reached over and handed him a tissue. "See," Jungkook said. "You made Jin-hung emotional too." "I did not." Jin protested instantly. "You absolutely did," J-Hope replied. Soon laughter returned. That was BTS. Even tears became memories wrapped in warmth. As evening approached and the official performance drew closer, Taehyung sat alone briefly behind the stage entrance. The distant sound of fans filtered through the corridors. He remembered being younger. He remembered uncertainty. He remembered wondering whether anyone outside Korea would listen to their music. Now thousands waited only meters away. The enormity of that reality overwhelmed him. Jungkook found him again. You disappeared. I just needed a minute. Jungkook sat beside him without speaking. Silence settled comfortably between them. Eventually Taehyung said, "Do you ever think about how fast time passes?" "All the time. I still feel like we're trainees sometimes." Jungkook laughed softly. "You, the same person who forgets where he puts his phone every day." Taehyung smiled. "Exactly. We've grown up. We really have." Another silence. Then Jungkook said quietly, "No matter how much time passes, we're still BTS." Taehyung looked at him. There was certainty in Jungkook's expression. A reassurance stronger than any speech. "We started together," Jungkook continued. "We're still together." Taehyung nodded slowly. "Thank you." "For what?" "For staying." Jungkook frowned. "Where else would I go?" The simplicity of that answer made Taehyung laugh through lingering tears. When BTS finally walked onto the stage for their last Mexico performance, the stadium exploded with energy unlike anything before. The members fed off the crowd's enthusiasm. Every choreography hit harder. Every note soared higher. Every interaction became precious. Taehyung gave everything he had. Jungkook matched that intensity. Jimin danced with infectious joy. J-Hope lit up the stage. Suga's presence commanded attention effortlessly. Jin charmed the audience with his humor. Guided everyone with quiet strength. Between songs, they paused to speak. J-Hope thanked fans for their passion. Suga expressed appreciation in his understated way. Jin joked about returning specifically for Mexican food. Jimin promised they would meet again. Reflected on the significance of shared memories. Then Taehyung stepped forward. The cheers intensified immediately. He tried to begin speaking. No words came out. He lowered his head. The stadium fell silent. His shoulders trembled. Another wave of emotion crashed over him. He started. He stopped again. Army waited patiently. Tears slid freely down his face. Finally, Taehyung whispered into the microphone. "Thank you." The crowd erupted. "Thank you for loving us." More cheers. "Thank you for singing with us." More tears. "Thank you for waiting." Fans throughout the stadium cried openly. Some hugged each other. Others held up purple lights. Taehyung pressed his lips together, trying unsuccessfully to steady himself. Before he could continue, Jungkook stepped closer. He placed a reassuring hand on Taehyung's shoulder. The gesture lasted only seconds. Yet its meaning spoke volumes. "You don't have to do this alone." Taehyung inhaled shakily. Jungkook leaned toward him. "You've got this." Taehyung nodded. "I love Mexico," he said. The audience screamed, "We'll come back." Their response thundered throughout the venue. Afterward, BTS performed their closing songs with visible emotion. The members embraced frequently. They smiled through tears. They waved endlessly toward every section of the audience. No one wanted the night to end. When the final song concluded, BTS stood together at center stage. Hand in hand, 7 silhouettes beneath purple lights. Army began singing softly. The melody spread throughout the stadium. Thousands of voices united. The members listened. Some cried. Others smiled. Taehyung looked around one final time. He committed everything to memory. The lights. The music. The faces. The love. Jungkook glanced at him. "Remember this." Taehyung nodded. "I will." As BTS bowed deeply to the audience, applause erupted once more. It continued long after they disappeared backstage. Behind the curtains, exhaustion and emotion finally caught up with everyone. Jimin burst into tears. "I wasn't supposed to cry." "You cry every tour," Jin teased gently. "That's not helping," Jimin replied. J-Hope wrapped an arm around him. Suga offered tissues. Thanked the staff individually. Taehyung stood quietly near the wall. Jungkook approached. "Feeling better?" "A little." "You scared everyone." Taehyung laughed weakly. "Sorry." "Don't apologize." Jungkook looked toward the distant roar of fans still chanting outside. "They were crying too." Taehyung blinked. "They were. Because they love you." A fresh wave of emotion threatened again. Taehyung covered his face. "Oh no." Jungkook groaned dramatically. "Not again." Despite everything, both of them laughed. The members gathered for one final group photo before leaving.